Yeah, looking good, man. Hey, so I just finished rereading the Ravishing Lowstein. I don't know. Like I read this book like 30 years ago. I just didn't. I mean, I guess I was like had some like music in the background that I just kind of like. But I mean, this is a weird book. Like it's there's like a menage a trois. It's a double menage a trois. I think it takes place in India. Like it's like French people like they go to India and then it's like two girls, Lolstein, Tatiana Carl. They grew up together, and Lolstein's kind of like this really like kind of weird character. She kind of free spirit. Maybe she has autistic or something. Uh, but this is like early Duras. I mean, a lot of people don't even read this book by her, and this is translated by Dick Seaver. Dick Seaver was like a guy who he was like a famous editor, and he translated a bunch of stuff. He did Merlin. He discovered Samuel Beckett. Basically, he was an editor at Grove, but and yeah, so he translated this book. I mean, Marguerite Duras more known for The Lover, the North. What's it called? The North Chinese Lover. There's another one that's even better, and some later books. But this one came out in the early '60s, and so some people don't read this, and they know Hiroshima and amour. But it's written. It's kind of told. You don't know who the narrator. The narrator is kind of like this distant person, and then in the middle of the book, you find out it's one of the characters, and then it's like the least sympathetic character. So it's kind of goes like this. Lolstein was born here in South Tala, and she spent a good part of her youth in this town. Her father was a professor at the University. Lowell had a brother 9 years older than she. I had never seen him. They say he lives in Paris. Her parents are dead. I've never heard anything especially noteworthy about Lolstein's childhood, even from Tatiana Carl, her best friend during high school together. So I read this book. Somehow I don't know. Did I buy it? But I wrote so 91. I think I read it. I had it. I had like the Grove Press hardcover. We read it and I tried to summarize it for the class, and it was a big failure and stuff because I just didn't understand. I think it was interesting to Acker because, like, um, just the whole perspective. It's like the person. It's told in this weird style, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of the book, it's like I am the I am the narrator and stuff. So and then it's kind of weird, because so Tatiana Carl, I mean, Lolstein had, she's dumped by her fiance who goes off with some other woman and leaves the town, and then she mysteriously meets some other guy, and then they go they leave for like 10 years, and she comes back, but she's always like reliving like her whole life over and over again. I mean, the book's kind of repetitious and stuff. So I looked at, there was a guy talking about this book. I don't think he really understood the book because it's like, I mean, when I read it when I was younger, I didn't really get it either. But through life experience, you kind of understand these kind of things, these kind of people. But I was reading like this thing by Tony McGibbons. Let's see. He's talking about. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I mean this book. It's almost the way it's told is sort of like negative. It's like they don't. they don't really answer questions. They're asking each other questions and they don't really let on it. So it's like you gotta, it's kind of like this kind of negative space and stuff. And so let's see, like, so he's talking about Kierkegaard and um reflective sorrow, victims of deception. But in his analysis, he reckons that a reflective sorrow he sees in various characters who have an unhappy love in their past can't be represented, cannot be an object of representation in art, partly because it never subsists, but is always in the process of becoming, partly because it is unconcerned with and indifferent to the external, the visible. We can say that more than any other modern writer, Duras has tried to find ways to make this internal sorrow externally apparent. To do so, she has been happy to hint at the madness Kierkegaard eschews when Kierkegaard offers the situations of figures who are not characters of reflective sorrow. Thus, when the loved one dies, or perhaps she simply finds her love is unrequited, or life circumstances make it possible to realize her wish, certainly there's an occasion for sorrow, but not reflective sorrow, unless the individual is already sick. So, yeah, I mean, you kind of want. I mean, I think a lot of people are, like Lil Stein's kind of damaged. She goes into the marriage, has kids, but it's sort of like it's not heartfelt. It's just sort of she's going through the motions. She's it's like this weird kind of fugue state that she's in, and the book's not really told from the point of view of Wolfstein, so it's like this kind of weird. This it's almost like a fanboy or something. It's like some guy that heard about Lil Stein but never met her and stuff. That's who's telling the story. It's kind of weird. And yeah, I mean, let's see. Yet, and then this person talks about yet then rather reduce her work to the arena of the depressed, which is a medicalized term. Let's expand it into the arena of the analytic and the melancholic to see in Duras' work a problem of temporal disconnection that allows the collapse of event. It bifurcates into two, the time past, which exists as pure affect, and time present as the ability to find ways to dramatize it. In other words, the former event is too traumatizing to be adequately absorbed and waits for a more modest occasion to find dramatization. This is, in some ways, a Bergsonian problem, which given psychological form. In a passage from Matter and Memory, Bergson notes that humans, unlike animals, appear to have the ability to withdraw ourselves from the action of the moment. And to do so, we must value the useless. We must have the will to dream. Man alone is capable of such an effort. But even in him, the past to which he returns is fugitive, ever on the point of escaping him, as though his backward running memory were thwarted by the other, more natural memory, of which the forward movement bears him onto action in life. Yeah, so yeah, it's like a lot of people, they move forward. I've dealt with friends. Let me put this book down. That they kind of like, it's like it's hard to talk to them because they're not really, they're doing all, it's like, oh, I'm doing like 100 things, it's like, what? It's like, you're not doing anything, you're just like, you got all these like tasks, and you've kind of got this chaotic life. It's kind of not, it's not a productive life, what you're doing and stuff. It's like it's like I mean I didn't. It's like all these people that are like cat ladies and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, man, I'm really super busy. Yeah, you're super busy, like cleaning up shit. Yeah, I mean, this book. I mean, I was like thinking about it last night. It just seems like the real depressing. I mean, there's that French movie, Heading South with Charlotte Rampling. Like this guy Brendan Cole gave me a copy of it because I was like saying like I kind of like Charlotte Rampling. It's like one of my favorite actresses. It's like just anything. And he gave me this film called Heading South, Vers le Sud. It came out about 20 years ago, and it's about three women that go to Haiti. They're like older women, and they're just looking for sexual encounters in Haiti, and because like nobody's really paying attention to them, and back home in America, because they're too old or something. So I mean, yeah, that's like this book. I mean, this is not a sexy book. It's like the woman, Lil Stein. She, she meets this really charismatic guy. She's like engaged to him, and he's sees some kind of woman, that's older. That he just kind of goes off with her, and Lil Stein's kind of reliving that moment in her life, for years, and she's like, she meet and then the funny thing is like Lil Stein's always really into walking. She's just into walking. Like all the characters seem like they're like peeping toms too. They're all like into like uh you know watching other people, or Lil Stein's like watching people in hotel rooms and stuff. It's very strange. But the Acker kind of turned me on to this one because I mean this is way different from. But I mean the only thing that's the same with the other books of Duras that I have read, there's sort of there's kind of like a damaged character that's like kind of dealing with the past and stuff, and I mean that's like in a lot of her books, and yeah, let's see. Let's see, but this guy say Lil Stein isn't only jilted, isn't only heartbroken, isn't only vengeful, though none of these things can be ruled out. But yeah, um, yeah, it's very strange, very strange book. You should check it out. So let's let's move on forward. Okay, so we'll see you soon.